When I was talking to him about this, setting up the show, and he sent me a copy so I could read it early, so I'm not just coming in here blind. He's like, it's not really horror. It's more, it, and I had to tease him back, and I get what you were saying though, but I was like, there's a lot of murder, very
Ye-
graphically depicted. I mean, not like hugely horribly, but with
Yeah.
things, but it is also like I was shocked and I was highly amused at the same time.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm a little jaded. Uh, uh, the thing is, it's not really focused on that. It's kind of focused more on. Uh, it's the story of Carl Spaberg, who is he thinks he's a hotshot reporter.
Mhm.
He had a story last year that he insisted that someone publish, and no one would take it from him. Um, and he wound up being kind of blackballed down to tabloid status. Now, all he really wants is to get the big juicy story that's going to push him back up into mainstream reporting again. And so I was thinking more about that. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Um,
Steve Van Sampson.
Man, Samson.
Look,
Yeah, I was focused more on that in my mind, and not really the cannibalistic ogress part.
yeah, I get it though. Yeah, it was the the murders were there to feed the
Yes,
rest of the story
yes,
and such. And I did get that. I was just like, there's a bit of horror. There's a bit of horror. It's horror adjacent,
yeah, there is,
but it
and
is
but
mostly focused on Carl. And God, he's a great character.
he's fun. He is. There's a lot of fun characters in this.
Yeah,
Or at least
m-
they were fun for me. They were fun on my side of the table. Hopefully, they're fun for y'all.
one of my favorite characters in the story was Max Bierman's chin. It,
Yeah,
Rob has been able to turn a chin into its own character in this story. It's great. The descriptions about it and like the influence of the chin is something that will get you right off the bat, and you're
that
going to
sounds
enjoy hearing about that.
that sounds weirder than it is. But thank you.
No, there's been entire books titled "The Chin," and the actor is well known for their chin.
Yes.
So yeah, it's weird, but it's not as weird as one would think.
No.
And the chin doesn't have a huge part to play. It's in the introduction, and but it is its own character outside of Max Bierman himself.
It's practically a henchman. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like some people have their cat that they pet. He has his chin that
Yes.
exists to do his things. And you have some great characters throughout all of this. Thomas Kalis- Kaliskawe?
Kaliskawe.
Thomas Kaliskawe
I
is
believe.
okay. So you said it. That's what it is now.
I've it takes place in Cherokee, North Carolina. So there are lots of
Yes.
Cherokee names. I did look up the proper what the internet says is the proper pronunciation of the names. Hopefully the internet is right. The internet's not really known for being 100% accurate though, so I did
Yeah.
my best.
So to give a brief overview of the book, Carl Spegler, our love to hate him reporter, has been assigned a story by the tabloid that he works for. He doesn't want to do it. He's trying to get back to being a credible reporter, and he's told that okay, if he ends up having to take the assignment. So he goes to Cherokee, where there have been a number of killings that took or a one night of killings that took place at a construction site. And while he's there, more killings keep happening until they actually bring in some of the bigger news people. But he's there and he's gotten the story first, although he doesn't necessarily go about things the way people normally would. If you were investigating, he's more of a write up the good story and then try to make it happen sort of guy.
Yes.
and there's some very fun stuff with trash beer and nutrias, which, by the way, I've had nightmares now about nutrias.
They're
They're actually
they're nothing. Yeah, yeah.
this. Yes, nutrias, they get to be 15 to 30 pounds. This is actually a picture from the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources. And since I read about the nutrias, which was just kind of a couple throwaway comments in the book, I have dreamt that I've been forced to let myself be bitten by them in order to like pass a mark in my dream. Like, if you want to go on and continue, you must stick your hand in this cage full of nutrias and let them bite you. And then you can
Wow.
go to the next stage. So,
Real life
yeah,
RUSSs.
yes,
Yes.
Yes.
exactly. So
You have the weirdest dreams.
I do, but yes, out of all the things that I dream about in this book, I dream about the nutrias rather than the actual entity, which I want to, you call it Spearfinger, which is a
Hmm.
great nickname, but I want you to pronounce, because I'm not even going to try it, what the initial potential title of the book was and what the mythological or the legend character is that was brought in here.
Yutlunta.
Yutlunta.
Yep,
Okay.
I think. I'm almost positive.
Okay. And can we describe what this character actually is, or would you rather leave that for readers? I don't want to spoil it because the pre-release and it's so good.
It's not. It's a Cherokee legend about an ogress made of stone who can disguise herself, and she eats people. She's supposed to be gone, maybe.
But that's the thing with monsters. They always find a way to come back.
They do.
If not, there's no sense in them existing. Kind of the thing for me. I don't know.
It's fun. They're fun. Yeah, I honestly. So this book came about. This book came about because I couldn't write a short story. I kind of explained in the author's note after the story is over. The New England Horror Writers, which I'm a part of, puts out anthologies every year or 18 months, whenever they can. And they're all themed. And there was one that was wicked creature. They're all wicked, wicked haunted ghost stories, wicked witches. And they had wicked creatures. And I was trying to write a creature short story, and it had a 7,000 word cap. And I kept writing stories that were way too long. And I wound up looking at a reference book that I have here. It's got a long title: The Vampire Slayer's Guide to the Undead, I think. Which is it's like an encyclopedia that just lists really short, brief listings of different monsters
Okay.
and from myth and legend from around the world. And I just cracked the book open and flipped a couple of pages, and there was a picture, an artist's conception of Yutlun, and there was a description of her as a stone ogress who eats people's livers, and I was like, well, that's perfect. I like it. I tried to write that story for Wiki. I was trying to think of something that I was trying to come up with something that the editors hadn't seen before, and that sounded pretty good. I don't think they would have heard of that. We're in New England. Not a lot of Cherokee in New England. But again, I couldn't keep the damn story small enough. I couldn't keep it short enough. So I just kicked it aside and wrote a different story, and then came back to this because the reason it wouldn't stay short enough for me to submit for that anthology was it was too much fun.